Good afternoon, everybody. This is Gary Beck coming to you live from the Maximum Wellbeing Thyroid Studio here in the sunny Sunshine Coast. And yeah, time to wish you a good afternoon and hoping you're all having fun. I want to talk a little bit more today about iodine. I have mentioned iodine a little bit, and of course, those of you that are aware of your thyroid gland and what it needs will be, I'm sure, well aware that iodine is a critical nutrient for your thyroid. It's one of those key nutrients, along with things like magnesium, selenium, vitamin D, and so forth, that if you don't have enough in the system, you can't produce enough thyroid hormone. But let's just broaden that a little bit and look more at iodine itself, because iodine is a nutrient that's actually present in every single cell. So every single cell in the body contains iodine, and every single cell in the body uses iodine. And there's quite a few researchers out there that have done a lot of work over the years about iodine and how important it is. Some people get a little bit fearful about iodine because the recommended daily allowance these days is still very, very low. It's a figure that is down around, depending on whether you're male or female, pregnant or not, 150 micrograms a day is the suggested amount of iodine that is needed by your body, and that is the absolute minimum that your body needs. Those guidelines are from research done way back in the early 1900s, around 1920, 1924, something like that. So as you can imagine, things have changed somewhat since then. Our knowledge and understanding of the body has been greatly improved. And unfortunately, on the other side of the coin, we have more of the toxic halides in our environment. So iodine is part of a family from our periodic table known as halides. And unfortunately, we have an increase in environmental exposure to things like fluoride and bromide. And both of these have the effect of essentially knocking out iodine. So these halides compete for the same sites within your cells, within your body. And with more of these other halides in our food and environment, unfortunately, this is having an even greater effect on our body's ability to use the available iodine from what you're ingesting. So as an example, in the years between 1971 and 2012, there's a massive health survey done, national health survey done, that suggested that available iodine levels and iodine levels in the general population dropped by over 50% in that time. 50%. So we know that unfortunately when we see a decrease in the iodine within the body, we see an increase in autoimmune disease, we see an increase in thyroid problems, of course. We also see an increase in the hormone-related cancers such as breast cancer, prostate cancer, ovarian cancer, and pancreatic cancer as well. Unfortunately, we see increased levels of all of these when the iodine level is too low, or even when the iodine level reduces. These things are all increased. So it's a big problem. The figures suggest that worldwide, over 70% of the population are in fact deficient in iodine. Big problem, big issue, affects a lot of things in our body. So iodine basically, the work done by Dr. Lugol's in creating what we use, have used for many years and still can use these days is the good old Lugol's iodine liquid solution. It's that brown stuff that causes a stain, and it's actually a combination of iodine and iodide. The iodine side of that equation is in fact the the stuff that stains your clothes and the stuff that has the antimicrobial activity. So that is actually known, proven, shown, and still used in surgeries these days because it is antimicrobial, antibacterial, antiviral, antifungal, antiparasitic, right across the board. And so, you know, in this funny time of COVID, here we've got another nutrient that if it's low, you're going to be more exposed to actually picking up a virus. Have high levels, along with things like vitamin D, the virus doesn't have a show of getting hold of you. So really, really key, really important. I just want to sort of say too that of the two main forms, iodine and iodide, the iodine is the one that actually has perhaps more effect on the breast, the prostate and the stomach. However, the iodide is the one that works more specifically with the thyroid gland, things like the salivary glands and the skin. So obviously the two combined cover pretty much the whole body. And remembering every cell contains iodine, every organ and every tissue contains iodine, and there's, you know, the other thing about iodine is, as well as it affecting thyroid hormone production, iodine is actually used for the body, in the body processes to produce all the different hormones. So once again, if you're struggling with hormone balance, if you're wanting to improve your overall hormone balance, and this doesn't matter whether it's adrenal hormones related to stress or thyroid hormones related to metabolism and other things, any hormones, if you're lacking in iodine, you're going to struggle to get that hormone balance. So once again, I just want you to understand how important this little nutrient is. Understand that it's highly likely that you're probably not getting enough from what you're eating. It's been antagonized by these other the bromide and the fluoride that unfortunately are commonplace in our food, in our water, of course. So we need to be really mindful of bringing our iodine level up. And that can be done by using things like Lugol's or other iodine formulas. I actually use a product from Dr. Turner. This is one that he put together, which is a capsule form, essentially the same ratios as the iodine in Lugol's solution. It also, the nice thing about this, it actually is kind of like a slow release formula for the body. It's delivering 12.5 milligrams of iodine, and it also has cofactors, particularly for the thyroid. So a little bit of magnesium, a little bit of vitamin C, a little bit of selenium, and so forth. So yeah, make sure you're considering your iodine levels, and if you need some help working on this particular area, please feel free to reach out, and of course, you know how to get hold of me. I hope you all have a great evening, and I look forward to talking again real soon. Bye for now.